throwing out the idea of a competition out the window and knowing that there's space for us all here is really eye-opening and has really influenced the way I see how we can work together.
El trabajo de Grace in Action es maravilloso. Darle poder a los jóvenes, creer en ellos, motivarlos. El movimiento que hacen con la comunidad es realmente impresionante. Ver cómo mezclan el arte con el trabajo y cómo logran que ellos ya tengan una empresa en función. Es realmente admirable.
The kind of work that we were doing was a little bit different, but that there was ways that we could support each other and the knowledge that we could gain about how to support small businesses from ProsperUs. And we hope that we were able to help our neighbors and people in the community to help plug them into the opportunities and the resources that ProsperUs offers was foundational for where the partnership started.
In 2017, I was working for ProsperUs as a program manager, managing our training program. But in my free time, I was trying to learn how to speak Spanish so that I could be a better service to the community. And I got to meet Mayra in a Spanish class that was for people who spoke Spanish but wanted to learn English and people who spoke English but wanted to learn Spanish. And it was actually hosted at Grace in Action. That was where Mayra and I came together and developed a relationship, and I shared with her about ProsperUs, and so she joined our training program. And it was so lovely because she already had this wonderful space, and so we did her graduation, her class's graduation in that space. It's just such an amazing privilege to have witnessed the last 8 years of Mayra's growth in her business. And last year we got to honor her as a neighborhood hero, and it felt like not enough to really underline the impact that a woman who cares about her community can make. Just having a business, and it's so much bigger than that. And I am so grateful for Mayra for many, many reasons, but one of them is the enthusiasm she shows up with constantly.
The relationship with ArteSano, like Joanna mentioned, ArteSano was in the building that Grace in Action was first started in. And so we always had, even from afar, had an interest in how the building was developed and how it was used, and always hoping that it continued to stay in the community and continue to be a community space. And so it was really exciting to us to see Mayra move in and completely transform the space and also still keep it a community space.
Llego por primera vez al edificio. Quitamos el sign de sale, vendido, y mi esposo y yo entramos por esta puerta. Tras de nosotros entra John. O sea que realmente la bienvenida del edificio la dimos los tres. Sé que tienen muy bonitos recuerdos de este lugar y como John lo mencionó, no es el edificio, no es el espacio, es lo que ellos hacen, el movimiento que ellos hacen. Ese fue el primer encuentro de muchos que hemos tenido con Megan, con John, con el equipo de Grace in Action.
The partnership between ProsperUs and Grace in Action, we are invested in helping the startup of worker-owned cooperatives, and we knew that there was a lot that we could collaborate on with helping entrepreneurs and helping people interested in starting businesses. Sometimes we had people who were interested in starting businesses that weren't ready for the cooperative model, and hopefully vice versa, and people who might be interested in the cooperative model as a business could also learn from us. So it's been a really great partnership.
Working with Idalis has been such a pleasure and a privilege because I think oftentimes two organizations that have similar missions don't always see how they can contribute to each other, but every conversation I've had with you has been about how we will collectively impact the community and that impact can be magnified if we pool our resources, both our human impact, but also like the monetary resources that it takes to support entrepreneurs in a meaningful way. And a lot of that has to do with who you are as a person, because not only do you do the work of working with Grace in Action, but you do Southwest Fest, you do all of these things that really show up in how people trust Grace in Action and then collectively trust ProsperUs. And ProsperUs wouldn't be able to support entrepreneurs if you weren't that conduit to making sure that entrepreneurs feel safe where they are.
Cuando formo parte de la clase que ofrece ProsperUs, no solo me voy sola, ¿verdad? Me llevo también a otros empresarios de la comunidad. Pues de hecho llegamos, aprendí mucho de esta clase y esa clase dejó tanto en mí como mi coach Nidia Cárdenas, que realmente tengo mucho que agradecerle, forma parte de este proyecto. Cuando se me ponen las cosas difíciles, la recuerdo a ella. Otra de las personas que dejaron mucho en mí, Mónica Cázares. Y de hecho, la calificación que me dio Mónica fue dura, fue certera y tú puedes dar más, Mayra. Yo estoy viendo, estás avanzando, pero tú puedes dar más. Pienso que el éxito de las mujeres es apreciar el éxito de las otras.
For me, I think it honestly starts with my mom. I think my mom is the reason that I have so much love and awe of entrepreneurs, and especially women who are entrepreneurs. She started her business when I was 5 or 6 years old in a flea market and has grown it and has had different spaces and different iterations of a business. Megan, our executive director, has been an incredible mentor and supporter, and she saw something in me when I was 22, 23, and knew that I had a passion for entrepreneur and small businesses, but also a more social justice view of things. And she kind of knew that I could play a big role in growing the solidarity economy and worker-owned cooperatives in this neighborhood. Emilio Duran is the other one who's influenced the way I understand how to live in my values while still continuing to do work, and what responsibility we have as directors of nonprofits. When all things are said and done, people remember the way they felt when they were around you and the way that they felt about themselves. That's what legacy means to me.